I have never once wished for anybody to be Major Tommed other than him.
Yeah.
But there we are. You come to a first every time if you get lucky enough.
Liberal Currents presents Half the Answer with your hosts, Caitlin M. Green and Trent R. Nelson.
Happy days are...
Say it, Trent.
In the area? Happy days are generally, we're looking for them, we're hunting them down. Not so easy recently, but, well, you know that understanding questions have the answer, and this is, of course, Have the Answer with your host, Trent R. Nelson, and, of course, Caitlin M. Green, and you know what we both get into. Well, I'm a writer and editor and a philosopher, a historian. I do a lot of things, but not as many as does Caitlin. She is a linguist, she's a writer, she's an editor, she is a mom. She is not Ariel. She does have friends in the ocean, but that is for another matter, another time to be sure. Caitlin, well, we just have such wonderful company all the time, and you know, the only thing we potentially love more than a first-timer is a recidivist. Who have you brought back on to the program today?
I don't know how we keep doing it, but we keep conning people into coming back after we've wasted their time for an hour and a half in the past. And today is no different. We have Walker Bragman. Walker's a journalist who tracks dark money and attacks on public health. He's a co-founder of the Accountability Journalism Institute. You can read his work on Important Context, which is his website. And of course, you can see his words in many, many other places as well. Walker, how are you today?
I'm all right.
Yeah, right. The answers, when we ask that, it's like, it's like a human convention. You're like, hey, how's it going? How are you? We need to stop because we never get the answer of like, so good, so good. It's not happening. The best. Like I threw a toddler birthday party this weekend, so I'm still like riding high off of all the child joy. Still, you're not gonna trick me into being like, it's the best.
That is the best though. The child joy is the best.
Mm-hmm. The shrieks and the running around, and they got into. My daughter had like 3 different costume changes during the party. She was just having the best time. She was like, she started out dressed as Ariel, and then somehow she put pajamas on when I didn't even see. And she came out in like her pajamas, and then she went back in and had a different Ariel dress on. Like she was really enjoying herself. So
yeah, my son is now crawling, and he wants to get into everything. So yeah. It's a constant, push pull of like, let me the play with that.
Nostalgia for the days when you could put them on like the play mat and then go pick something up off the counter, and when you came back they'd still be on the play mat. Like, well, yeah, not anymore. It's gone. Those days are gone.
He hates, and we have like a playpen for him, and he hates it. He does not like being in that. Whenever you put him down, it's immediate tears. It's just you just gotta hope that he's gonna like adjust.
Do not constrain me, Father. Do not constrain me. Do not put me in this hell that you have created. Where is Mother?
Yeah,
we had to do that for a long time because like we just needed walls around her because she would roll under the furniture all the time. So like I'd blink and she'd be like under a chair and like couldn't get out. I'd be like, well, yeah, we need borders. We need to build a wall.
build the wall.
Build that wall. So we did like a playpen that was on wheels, so it was like fairly small, and then I could drag her around with me so that she wouldn't feel mad that I had abandoned her somewhere. And then also the circle of neglect. We've talked about the circle of neglect. The circle of neglect is the little thing you put them in upright and their legs go through, and then there's toys around them. It's like a little, the little table. That's what we always called that. Like, put her in the circle of neglect. I need to chop some vegetables.
What is this thing? This sounds amazing.
It's those little like play station things where like you plop them down in the middle of it, and it's toys on a surface around them.
And they can't escape.
Kind of like a jolly jumper, baby jumper thing, but it's like its own thing that sits. I'll send you a link. Don't worry, you're gonna love it.
Please do.
hey, link will be in the description for our listeners.
Can we get an affiliate link going on the Circle of Neglect?
No, we have to come up with our own version, which is called the Circle of Neglect, right? Well, Caitlin, last time we had Walker on, we talked about the worst people who don't really care if we get very sick or not, it seems, for they continue to take away our means of not getting so sick. They have not stopped in the time since last we spoke with Walker, so we figured we better have him back on. Walker, how is your friend Jay Bhattacharya doing?
Oh, he's got a new position to add to his CV, and that is acting CDC director.
Cool. Because I feel like last year we were like, why does Marco Rubio have so many jobs? And now it's Jay Bhattacharya has like every job in the world.
Yeah, when
busiest man.
When in 2024, before Trump had won, I suspected that Jay was going to be the CDC director. Like that was my thought. Like, oh, this guy is like primed for that. And then they made him NIH director, which I was like, well, I guess that kind of makes sense because of his like grudge against the last NIH director, or Francis Collins. And the administration seemed to be like, if you don't like the person who held this position, in the past, well, now you can have the position and do whatever. Right. Or like, if you don't like this agency, well, guess what? Now you're running it. And so it made sense. But now he's CDC director as well. So,
and it's going so great.
In so many ways that tracks though with like how Trump does business, right? He's like, Linda McMahon, staunch advocate of education, right? Like, like this is his deal. He's like, oh, you don't like something? Like, let's put you in charge of it, right?
Yep, exactly.
It's a devious and dreadful concept, right? Like, let's put the people who have the most malignant ideas in charge of our health, in charge of our education.
Jay is CDC director now.
Yeah,
definitely not somebody that we want running CDC. An economist whose big idea was everybody should just get COVID and then we can get herd immunity and move past the crisis. Like, that didn't work. Everybody got COVID and then they got it again and again.
And they're still getting it.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of people
and now
died.
All our brains are broken and yeah.
So yeah, he's now in charge of the CDC. It's like and he's an economist, like what business does he have running the CDC or NIH, frankly? But this is the Trump administration.
Yeah. We love putting people in who have no normal like qualifications, the kind of things that like 100% of previous inhabitants of that role had. We're just breaking with tradition here. We're trying something bold and new and exciting, right? We've got Casey Means, whose main like qualification is that she has a lot of followers on social media. I don't know, like.
Well, that's that is probably part of it. Like Trump is sort of drawn to these people who like are maybe telegenic, or they have a lot of followers, or they're and like that is something he values a lot. And unfortunately, they have this view of expertise that like, oh, it doesn't matter that these people have been working their whole lives towards something or studying it their whole lives. Like any idiot could do that. And so now
in fact, that actually makes them suspect, right? Because they're like motivated.
Yeah. And now we are experiencing what it's like to be run by people without expertise.
It's one of this movement's most Jacksonian qualities, is this like absolute disdain and hatred, but it comes from, as you just alluded to, Walker, it comes from this sense of like every man can do anything, right? It comes from this sort of utopian idea that like any man is just as good as another man. Put a man in a position and give him some time and he'll learn how to do the thing, right?
That's interesting. I hadn't heard the Jackson comparison before, but that's a good one.
Yeah, because that's the same idea that he brought in, which is any person who is in an office for too long starts to reap benefits and have advantages that no one man should have alone. And so we should have like anybody could do any of these jobs. Like that's what American government has to be. And they've really zeroed in on that, I think, in a way that, and again, it's the same thing that happened, 100, 200 years ago, right? It zeroes in on the desire of regular people to be lifted up, right? To feel positive about themselves, to feel as though they have the ability to help run the government, to help run the country. But
that's beautiful, really. We're all just temporarily embarrassed CDC directors.
Correct. Correct. I think it's dumb as shit because I certainly am not a temporary CDC embarrassed individual. But again, it comes from a place of longing. But that doesn't really help us because much like 200 years ago, if you put in people who don't know what they're doing, you get results that showcase that, Walker. And I mean, what sort of terrible results have you been noticing other than, of course, the rampant measles outbreak and increase in polio, and, all of these things that my grandmother hasn't spoken about in literally 70 years.
I mean, pick one, right? Like you've got the FBI run by a Trump loyalist, dysfunctional FBI. You've got untrained federal agents on the street, killing Americans. It's just the entire administration is just like the last people that you would want in charge running stuff. And the NIH under Bhattacharya has been absolutely just devastated. It's going to be I read somewhere that it'll take a generation at least to undo some of this damage. I mean, we've really lost, I think, a lot the confidence of researchers, not just here but abroad. Like, why would you come and work in the U.S. right now? It just doesn't.
No.
It's a disaster. We are losing brain. It's the brain drain, right? People are going elsewhere, and that's. I mean, when you think about American power in the world, that's one aspect of it. Our cutting edge science. We have the ability to make miracles, right? Like, and this administration does not appreciate that. They've gone after research on the grounds that it's DEI, which is ridiculous because, when you talk about unqualified people getting positions they're not qualified to have,
right.
That's the entire administration. Like, the thing that they said was happening is happening, but they're doing it. Every accusation, the confession, right?
Yes.
Right. Well, I'll say it every time when somebody starts going off about censorship and loss of like academic freedom and not being allowed to say like challenging difficult truths. When they're asked to give examples of that happening, without fail, they list stuff other people are saying as the problem, right? Where it's like, that's actually the opposite of the issue, right? When you're like, oh, well, classicism is overrun with censorship. And I'll tell you, I went to a conference and people did presentations on queer themes in ancient Greece. And it's like, no, that was other people's research. You didn't like that other people were doing research that you thought was gross. It turns out that if you want academic freedom, you have to like let them do that stuff.
Right. And their whole thing is, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like Jay's built this sort of mythos around himself as the censored truth teller of COVID. And I think we talked about this a little bit last time.
Right. Because I had to listen to him whine about it
at
Stanford. Yeah.
And like, he was not censored. The man was all over Fox News, all over right-wing media, being giving presentations for the Council for National Policy, Brownstone. He was amplified by this right-wing media ecosystem to the point where now he's the NIH director. Like, that's not censorship. If that is censorship, like, censor me, please.
Cancel to the top.
Yeah, but it's not just rank hypocrisy and shameless lying. It is a deliberate strategy to undermine their opposition and sort of sell this damaging, destructive right-wing agenda. That's what it's really about. They don't actually care about academic freedom or free speech. What they care about is imposing right-wing ideas on everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty succinct. It also feels like, there's all of this debate about, is this person really in their heart like a fascist or a eugenicist or whatever? And it's like, I don't know. I can't read your mind, right? But if I were a person who thought that certain kinds of children were weak stock that needed to be culled for the future of humanity, I don't think I'd be behaving any different than RFK Jr.
No, I mean, they are... The idea that they sell to people, which is I think is very appealing, is that your health is hackable. Right. And with some lifestyle choices or changes, you too can live into, the distant future, our tech utopia where, billionaires are going to inject you with their super serum and whatever. Like, this is, and you'll get your what
meds are a mere 5 to 10 years away. Okay, Walker, it's gonna happen. They were a mere 5 to 10 years away 5 to 10 years ago, and they're a mere 5 to 10 years away now.
Hey, we already have them. If in that movie, that Matt Damon movie, okay, we've already seen how they work. What is it, Elysium?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh,
yeah.
But wasn't there like an alien movie too, where the girl had an alien in her and she excised it in a med bed? Prometheus.
Oh,
I'm good at movies.
I didn't. I got to be honest. I watched that movie and I have no idea what happened in it. Maybe I'm just very pedestrian in my.
That's the Ridley Scott experience.
I loved that one. To me, I was like, oh, this is what it is like to interact with an AI system, because she had to trick it into thinking that she had an ectopic pregnancy or something, because it wasn't oh, clearly you have an alien organism inside of you and I'm going to deal with it. She was like, I need to figure out what setting will get this thing out of me.
The same problems we have today, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just this conspiracism that they sell to people that's very appealing. Like, who doesn't want to live, so my family just experienced a loss. It was very sudden. And that's hard. Death is hard, and life is unpredictable, and that is scary. And so we have, I think, all of these sorts of systems that we build up and put in place to make that less scary. Sure. And the right capitalizes on that, especially with this wellness stuff. Like, hey, take these supplements. Eat red meat. It's the secret that the doctors have been keeping from you. Eat whole butter sticks on your steak. It's
like one butter. Weird That's trick, but on steroids, right?
Yeah, hey, take this coffee enema. Take and it's just it's just this it's nonsense. It's junk science, but they sell it to people, and I guess, I think that people feel like it takes it gives them a sense of control when they don't really have that. We could all die tomorrow or in, 50 years, who knows? But at some point it will happen. And you can't hack your health. You can do things that give you better, odds, maybe yes, a better diet, exercise, sleep. These are tried and true, but eventually you will expire, and that's
no, not me, Walker. It's not going to be me. Actually, I'm going to be the first one. Because what you don't know is that I have a med bed. I just got it.
There you go. There you go. But like genetics is such a big part of this and so I think, implicit in the wellness movement in like RFK's world of sort of wellness addiction, swapping heroin addiction for wellness.
Right.
Like there's an implicit sort of recognition that like not everybody is capable, but those people are less valuable and less important because they just have bad genes. Like,
you just reminded me of a wellness influencer that I just saw a clip of who was like,
Plato?
I used to be, he was like, I used to be addicted to alcohol and now I'm addicted to drinking my own pee and that's much better. And I'm like, that's not better. I mean, I guess
that's not better.
Compared to alcohol, maybe, but like, what if neither? What if you did neither?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you see it so often. I mean, that is almost like essentially the entire premise of NA and AA, right? Is that like you like to drink, you like to shoot heroin. So like, what if you just read the Bible instead? Like, have you considered that, right? Just replace the heroin with the scriptures and you'll be in good business. But, of course, Walker, we are, very, very sorry to, about your loss, to be sure.
Thank you.
I do not want to live forever. I do not want to hack my health and be 145. I do not want to be turned into a cyborg, living too long. I want to die like a regular life, a regular death. I want to, however that happens, like surprise, not surprise. Because I think that, and I know this is an unpopular take in certain corners of the internet, I think that to some degree...
I'm listening to it. I don't like it. No.
I think that death, to some degree, it gives us another meaning of living. If you could just do everything forever, then some people might come to the conclusion that there's hardly a point in doing anything because we have so much time.
Here.
But isn't that... Okay.
Let's go.
Let me push back on that a little bit because already none of this matters. Have you heard of? I was talking to my father about this. Have you heard of the concept of deep time? So
I don't think I have. No.
Okay, so hold your arm out like this, and so where your palm is, this is where the dinosaurs start, and the very tip of your fingernail on your middle finger, that's humans. So,
and the rest of this is all the time.
Is the age of the planet. That's the age of the Earth. So, like it's
all 4,000 years of it. Yes, I understand. Yeah.
it's time on a scale that like humans can't even comprehend. So,
Absolutely.
like the idea that there is sort of cosmic significance, I think, to anything is. To me, at least, a little like I'm like that's. Well, so I'm happy.
My dad's gonna hate this part. I'm gonna get talked to about this segment of the podcast. You understand? The next time I go lift weights with my dad, he's gonna tell me how annoyed he is that we're denying like the cosmic beauty of the universe. I hope you are prepared to accept that you have done that to me.
I don't think there's any cosmic significance or meaning to our lives. I'm an absurdist, so I have given myself my own meaning, thankfully.
Yeah, there you go.
But still, even with that mindset in place, let me take a nap eventually, right? Like my grandma, she's 94 years old. Like she has this indomitable spirit to continue living. She survived through World War II. She survived through, getting left by her husband, right? She has this incredible spirit. But then you like talk to like another 97-year-old person and they look at you dead in the eyes and they're like, I'm tired, man.
I'm done.
Right? And you're like, I get that. Like I get both. I get both, to be sure. And shout out to Dad. Don't hate this part, Dad. This will be fun. There's significance in your life.
He's gonna laugh. But but if I could have thrown my grandma into a med bed and made her live forever, I would have done it. She's the best grandma in the world. But she would have probably been mad at me.
we'd all do that for somebody. That's the thing. Like, we would all put somebody in the med bed, right? And like other people would put us in the med bed, right?
Yeah.
I think there's an argument that, you know, death is sort of necessary, right? Like, it's because the idea of a mecha Musk living, you know, into you know, in eternity is terrifying. But yeah, I think, you know, these sorts of promises of longevity are very appealing.
Right. Well, we have a lot of art to like help us deal with this kind of question, right? Like, this is part of the story of why we have vampire stories, right? About like what happens when you don't decay and you don't move on. I don't know if you guys read Tuck Everlasting as children, but
I remember that, but I don't.
It's the story of a family who has on their property like a sort of fountain of youth, like spring of eternal life. And if you take a drink from it, then you stop aging from there, right? And a little girl meets them and learns about it, falls in love with the boy in that family, and they offer her, like, will you take a drink of the water and be with us and, you know, stop aging? And spoiler alert, everybody, but at the end, Winnie says, no, I don't want to do that. And she continues to age as they stay still, right? And I, as a kid, was like, Winnie, you dumbass. What are you doing? You could have been immortal. Right?
Yeah, I mean, didn't they make a movie out of that? I think they did, right?
They did. It had Alexis Bledel as Winnie. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. And who was the boy? Was it like what, JTT?
I only listen. My little bisexual heart was only interested in knowing about Alexis Bledel. Okay.
Shout out to JTT. That's an acronym you haven't heard in years.
That really should have been my first clue that I was bisexual, that I have no memory of who the male lead was. And I only, those piercing blue eyes. Okay. It is some gentleman named Jonathan Jackson. I don't know who that is.
Okay.
But he always has his hair too long. That's all I know. It was William Hurt was the dad and Sissy Spacek was the mom. So it was a big deal.
An all-star cast.
Yeah. Victor Garber was Winnie's dad. Amazing. Okay.
Yeah. Like, I don't have a problem with like sort of the like, you know, push to extend human life. I just, but like when it comes with like, hey, you know, kids are going to get measles and whatnot. Right. It's like
somehow it always does.
Yeah. And it's super, like, it's super culty, right? Like,
yeah,
like, hey, just drink this taurine shake and
well, Walker, you know, this actually moves us towards something that I think about often, and we'd like to hear your thoughts, I suspect. In this movement, there also seems to be this like mythological conception that at some point throughout the ages, like people just walked into the field with like cholera and ate like grass seeds, and then like we're fine, right? And that like at some point, like, you know, the big bad capitalist, which again, you're talking to me, I'm never, you know, sparing the capitalists, right? But like the big bad capitalists like ruined that because they couldn't just sell grass seed to people. So they had to turn it into like a pill that like also kills your kidneys and right.
Liver King shit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. What is that about? Because I hear it all often and I say to myself, I even say to the people that will bring it up to me, I'll say, listen, man, like you used to die from whooping cough. Like you used to die from the common cold, a scratch. Like life was not easy. And
no, life, it's utopian. It's like a utopian revisionist past of like cave of hunter-gatherers living into their hundred. Like it's nonsense. Yeah. But this is
my favorite expression of that is like, don't take that Pfizer vaccine. Take your ivermectin, which you can purchase from the good people at Pfizer. Like, Big Pharma is really trying to get you. So make sure you don't give them your money by buying the vaccine from them. Just buy the horse paste.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
it also all smacks of gender, does it not? It is very much like the manly way to live is the hunter-gatherer way, the caveman way. Yeah. Needles go in you, and that's kind of, if you think about it, like gay and female. So we shouldn't do that. We can just smear paste on ourselves like the good cavemen did.
Fellas, is it gay to get vaccines? Right?
Honestly, I think they're like, I'm not letting some doctor penetrate me.
Well, it's like my immune system is strong. I am strong, and so I will gladly get polio. Like,
It's an expression of strength that my lungs no longer operate on their own.
Well, I mean, it is literally. We can read it in Plato, right? This idea that that we should not be doctoring our illnesses, as it's put. That we should let the strong overcome the illness and continue on with their labor. And if they die, then that is simply a matter of, as Caitlin put it, as Walker put it, as we've put it, all right, culling a herd, right? Eliminating the weakness from. But again, there is so much, and I think many people miss, as Caitlin and I were sort of talking about yesterday, people who don't understand things fully often come away with ridiculous viewpoints. But there is a great deal of cruelty in such an idea, is there not, Walker?
Yeah, I mean, it's eugenics. It's social Darwinism. It's this, like, applying standards to, like, humans don't operate like that. Okay. Like some of the, like, these lives that we're losing are just, they're people, they're human beings. I think about, you remember when Herman Cain died from COVID?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like he had gone to the basketball game or whatever with Trump, or did something with Trump and got COVID and then died. And it's like, this guy was like your friend, like, Right.
And they didn't miss a beat.
No.
And then also after he died, didn't his account tweet like COVID denial?
Yes. Yeah. Like, what? Like, it's like real human beings don't work like that. Right. They grieve. They appreciate, like, when I talk to somebody, I'm not like evaluating their genes for like how much I should invest in the relationship. Right. Like, I'm not like, I don't know. What's your family history like? Like,
right.
Your
how
medical
old was
history.
Your grandparents when they died?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's just, people don't operate like that. Right. So much of this feels unnatural, despite their insistence on, like, we're going back to the natural lifestyle, the natural roots, real food, all that shit. Like,
well, right.
They don't like
the strong caring for the weak has been part of humanity's natural behavior forever. Why would we?
Yeah. Empathy is an evolved, trait that is beneficial for our survival. These people are like, they don't care about science. They never really have, but they are like, it's just this warped sort of unnatural view. And I think that's the right in general, right? Like, you have the sort of like incel groiper types who also have this view of masculinity that's just like weird and alienating and not like people you'd want to be around. I mean, I'm sorry, like Andrew fucking Tate, like who wants to be
unpleasant,
or Nick Fuentes, like that guy's not getting invited to any parties. I'm sorry, like that dude is weird.
Keep your passport close to you.
You up in Romania, no joke.
Andrew Tate's gonna take it.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like, everything about it reads weird. Like RFK, I went and I took a bath in that like toxic stream and I came out fine. Like,
what are you talking about,
dude?
bro?
What?
Don't do that.
Yeah, he's submerged in like sewage waste. Like, dude, it's just
for what?
Like, at some point, somebody's got to say, like, this shit isn't normal, And like,
yeah, these people are freaks.
Like, it's weird. It's like unsettlingly weird.
I mean, people are saying it, but somehow they just keep maintaining their position of power.
But it will happen. It will happen because it always does. Eventually, everyone is going along with the McCarthyite scare, with the red baiting, with the insanity. And then all of a sudden, the famous, have you no shame, sir? Right? Have you no honor? And we long for that moment today, right? We long for that, like, have you no honor moment where everyone's like, oh, wait a minute, I do have honor. Like, what the hell's going on here? But we are 10 years into this mess. And, with the nominee process 2015 all the way up to here. And there is a prevarication amongst so many of the people. And again, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. I suspect it is the prevarication of investing so much into something that it, to say that you were long conned on fascism, when you're like kids and your sister and your father, they were telling you about fascism for your whole life, right? Like, that's embarrassing as shit. And I feel like you're not going to get people coming out of the woodworks just being like, hey, turns out I was like lied to and wrong like 3 times in a row. Where do you fall on that?
I mean, yeah, I think, there's definitely sunk costs, but I think the real appeal of this is that Trump tells people you can be your worst self, and that's actually desirable. And like, and feeling bad is actually bad. Like, that's the impulse you have to kill. Not, you don't have to try to be a better person because actually you're perfect the way you are. And, RFK is like, and also your health is hackable. Like, like you have these, like, don't improve, just take supplements or eat this fad diet or whatever. And it's just selling people bullshit. And so I think, but it's appealing bullshit. So I think that people, they want to believe it, and they don't necessarily recognize the parallels to fascism.
Yeah. It also fits into this through line, right? Of like, you don't need a government or a system or anything to take care of you. If you just take the reins, your health will be safeguarded by your own good choices and good attitude, right? It fits in with the what is it called? The doctrine, the prosperity gospel. And like, this whole like law of attraction thing of like, it's actually just all down to you and your mindset and your behaviors. Do not look to us. Do not look to any kind of public health policy to protect you.
Yeah, we have like a frontier mentality, right? It's
rugged individualism.
Yeah, manifest destiny. We tamed the land and we can do it again. And like, it's just it's just nonsense. It's just all fucking nonsense.
Well, it's fundamentally incompatible with germ theory, which is why half these guys don't believe in it, I guess.
Yeah, like we live in a modern world and it's unpredictable, and sometimes you can get, sometimes you can do everything right and you can get sick, and you're just one illness away from disability, and that's scary. Life is scary, but you live, you appreciate, the day to day. You try to enjoy the time that you have. That's it, right? It's not like they're not going to save you. They're not going to, I think it would suck to be the last generation or like 1 or 2 generations away from figuring out how to like preserve human consciousness. That would suck, I think.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't think we're there. We are a flash in the pan, and we're all just trying to like get by. And I think that
it is funny that you bring that up though, because like that feeling of like, oh my God, the panic that like death is inevitable. It fuels these like conspiratorial ideas about med beds and, other kinds of things. But it also feels like that's what's behind these ads that are like, you can call your AI grandma in a video chat and she'll read a story to your kid, you know, like it's the same. It's like that same kind of like, I can't cope with the idea of death, so I'm going to believe whatever you tell me about how I can get around it.
And if we didn't do it with technology, if we didn't do it in the 21st century, we'd have done it in the 15th century. We'd have done it in the 10th century. We'd have done it 3,000 years ago, because that's what we do. We look around and we see fireflies and we're like, ah, yes, the spirits of like my dead ancestors. Right. And there is, in those ways, there is a sort of beauty in it, right? In like medbed, like conspiracy theories, there's like a certain psychosis about it, where it's like, take a deep breath, like this doesn't exist, but live your life, and be happy now and love now, instead of worrying about keeping it going for an endless period of time.
My friend calls it a perpetual adolescence.
Yes. Right. Can't
because
grow up.
You never really, if you're not like dealing with the like finality and randomness of life, you're not really growing. And there's plenty out there to prevent you from doing that. I think. I mean, look, this is, maybe I'm getting a little bit up on my atheist high horse here, but like, like religion has been, organized religion has been
the idea that you can access the things that are kind of beyond the veil, right?
Yeah, is also very appealing and shares some of the qualities here with the wellness stuff. Yeah.
I had a crazy thought, and you can tell me if you don't want to hear about children's TV shows anymore, but I don't care actually, so don't tell me that. But I have been watching my kids watch this show called The Lion Guard on Disney. And it is a spin-off of The Lion King. Okay. It is Simba's children. Mostly it's about his son. And the way that it works is that like these children, for some reason, are the royal guard of the Pride Lands. Like, first of all, I'm out for that. That like the logic doesn't work for me. But like the thing about it, that really
soldiers,
gets me, yeah, child soldiers, and we're happy about it because they sing songs. Okay. And there's two things about the show that really grind my gears. The first of which is that they talk about the circle of life and like the natural thing about like predators and prey and the food cycle and all of this stuff. But then like in a lot of episodes, they rescue a prey animal from a predator animal. And it's like, why did you interfere then? If the circle of life is natural, like what are we doing? Right. So that bothers me.
I want to see Simba chowing down on a sentient
I just think like, let's not make that part of it, right? Let's not have plots about the animals eating each other if we're going to do like a fun show about animals hanging out, in the Pride Lands. But the other thing that really gets to me about this show is that if you recall in the film, The Lion King, the moment when Simba contacts dead Mufasa in the clouds is like so meaningful and so powerful.
It got its own song.
Gets a moment.
Yeah.
And he only gets this like little moment, and then he has to go and live the rest of his life taking that advice with him, and that's all he gets, right? In The Lion Guard, anytime this stupid little lion cub has a little problem, like literally, I'm mad at my sister, he runs off into the savannah and he essentially just like dials up grandpa, and Mufasa rolls in the clouds and is like, what are you struggling? Sometimes sisters can't be annoying. And it's like, this makes it like really cheapens like the death and the like the finality and all of this stuff and the majesty of it.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And it feels like it's that same like desire that we have to just like not deal with death, not think about it, put me in the med bed, give me my AI grandma, and I'm gonna call Mufasa on the cloud phone or anytime I have a problem.
There is some
amazing.
There is something to that though. I mean, and Walker, I mean, linking the conspiracists with a certain constituency of people who believe in, religion in a certain way. I talk about it often. I think it's actually very telling because those people often have issues with things like science and things like history. And we ask ourselves, why is that? And it's because the things that they believe in are capable of being static over long periods of time. Right? They're capable of being unchanging monoliths. We could have always eaten red meat and licked tallow from the bones of dead animals, and that would always help. And they've been doing that for thousands of years, right? And the foibles of religion, right? Like this is eternal law. This is unchanging, eternal. We don't have to really think about it. They hate science because the scientists will come out and be like, oh, we figured out this new thing, and then come out later and be like, turns out we were slightly wrong about that, and we've like revised our discovery. Like, good job, us, right? And history has the same thing. We're constantly rediscovering that something we thought is only half true or a quarter true. And for the people who understand those those different concepts, it's very simple. It's pleasurable almost, right? Because it's progress each and every day. It's progress each and every working hour. But for people opposed to these disciplines, it is infuriating. It is infuriating. It is almost like, what do you mean? Like you're so smart, but you're always wrong? Like, how is that possible? And then you're right, but your right is probably also going to be wrong one day. What does that even mean? It
threatens the stability that they like to exist in. And look, fascism provides order. It provides purpose. Yep. We're seeing that in the MAGA
childish.
movement.
It just is.
Yes. Yeah. It's a perpetual adolescence. It's, you not fully realized people. I think
so much of it is just like yucky. That's like the feeling, right? Is like, ugh. I feel uncomfortable. I feel yucky. I could get sick. And I don't want to. I don't like that idea. And then it like expands to the nation, right? Like it makes our nation weak to have immigrants here. It makes our populace weak to have queer people. Like, it's this like, yucky, I feel unsafe feeling. And then that becomes violence.
Yeah. You don't have to grow. You don't have to broaden your horizons at all. Your biases are right. Your prejudice is right. You're perfect. Exactly how you are. And by the way, drink beef tallow.
Right.
Like
right. And boys can't be girls. That's basic science. And it's like, okay, well, you could think a little harder. It could be useful. I learned it in 5th grade and therefore it is correct. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, much of what we know, for many peoples, it becomes like the talisman that they're given by their grandmother. It becomes like the heirloom that, is passed down from generation to generation. And so, to deny Lutheranism, to deny, X, Y, or Z, this is almost to deny our family, to deny our lineage, to deny ourselves in so many ways. And I think for a lot of people that is psychologically difficult, if not impossible.
But then they can make up whatever and be like, oh, this is a very ancient idea, actually. And it's like, no, someone made it up in 1975, actually. Like, I don't know why we're pretending that it's ancient wisdom.
Yeah, and I think, it really is like an addiction in a certain way. Like, Kennedy is just, he's low hanging fruit, but,
sure.
the man was a fiending heroin addict who swapped one addiction for another. And where you get a little bit of that flavor is Olivia Nuzzi's, book excerpt that she published, where she's like, he desired desiring. He desired me desiring him, desiring desire. Like he would eat the world if he could.
Writer.
Yeah. But like what you're describing is addiction. Like my uncle was an addict, and he had the same kind of, sort of almost pathological need for whatever it was he was into. And it's like, that's what it is. Yeah. And a lot of this wellness stuff, it's super unhealthy and, conspiratorial, but like also like reminds me of like a drug addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like a fix. It's the feeling of like pursuing a fix as opposed to living your life in a healthy way.
Yeah. There's no sense of moderation.
Who among us has not allowed a moose carcass to liquefy in the back of our car? Like, it's just one of those things that happens to you in the pursuit of health.
I mean, this guy let like whale juice from a dead whale like dribble onto his kid. Like, he brought his grandkids.
That's what really kills me.
He brought his grandkids to this like sewer, the sewage stream. Like, what are you doing, man?
In a toxic sludge.
Like, just like there's something like wrong there. Like not just like oh, that's fucked up, but like something like, oh, there's like something wrong up here.
Yeah. So like, I wasn't following these people before they became, a huge like part of our government, right? But what I was following was the sort of like heterodox anti-woke academic sphere. And I was thinking about that same like tendency, right? So like, Heather Heying and Brett Weinstein, who were academics, and then they got quote unquote canceled, right? Campus cancel culture. And then they had this podcast called the Dark Horse podcast. And on it, they took ivermectin because they were like COVID conspiracy people. And then they also gave it to their teenage son. And then that was when I was like, fuck you. That kid is under your care. You're responsible for his health, and you're doing like a political stunt using him. Like that kind of thing deserves to be shunned. Putting your grandkids in the toxic sludge, right? Yeah, that's medical abuse.
It's abuse. Like you shouldn't, like, that's like, okay, if one of my son's grandparents did that, they would never see him again.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Ever. Not. Just, I don't care what their position was. Never. Like, that's so fucked up. And, like, see, I can't talk about this. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something that I regret. But like, that really like gets me. Like all the like, and not just as extreme as RFK, but like the sort of, the flippancy with which Bhattacharya or Koldorf will spew vaccine misinformation or like fearmonger about a life-saving vaccine. Like, man, like, fuck you, because they're saving lives, and you're making that harder. And like, there's a non-0% chance that somebody's going to listen to you and die. And like, like why, like, is your career, is the attention really worth it? And I think for a lot of people, the answer is yes. And like, fuck those people.
Yeah.
Right. And that kind of failure to act like a human person is disqualifying, right? And this is when I get on my like linguistics high horse and I start yelling about the people who think that it's really cool and edgy to say things like words are not violence. And it's like, like, I get it, right? Saying something rude is not inherently violent, whatever. But that is never what people are saying when they say that like your words can be violence. It's when you have the power to cause somebody to do something that kills them, right? Yeah. Or when you have the power to order somebody to kill somebody else, your words actually are violence. That's called linguistic performativity. That's when you do a performative speech act that causes something to happen where people die.
Well, Charles Manson never killed anybody.
Right. No, I mean, I
hereby sentence you to death. That's violence, right? I signing a warrant to try to cart somebody off to a camp where everybody's got deadly diseases and is being fed moldy food. That's violence, right?
Canceling an experimental cancer trial midway through.
Violence.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, have we considered that putting up flyers telling everybody that Jay Bhattacharya's policy advice led to people getting sick and dying. That's also violence when you put those flyers up and he has to see them. He wants us to know that that actually was a death threat and we need to take it seriously.
These are not, serious people. Right?
No,
like to
not.
borrow from Succession. These are not serious people.
They're not. And it's like a solipsism of, if it happens to me, then it's real and it's important. And if it happens to somebody else, then it's fake and stupid.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, look, Marjorie Taylor Greene with the, my life is now under threat. All these like sexist, fans of the president are coming after me and threatening me. And like, so now you appreciate what, that's awful. I mean, it is awful, but like,
yeah,
but like, you couldn't have said it was awful before.
One of my least favorite parts of the early COVID pandemic was just that. It was hearing from people who were like, this is all bullshit. This is all to keep us inside, to kill the economy, to kill my life, to this, that, the other thing. And then
to stop Trump.
To kill his presidency. And then one of their relatives passes away. One of their friends passes away. And all of a sudden it is now a very serious thing we should be taking very seriously. And I hate that so much because while you were denying all of it, other people were dying and you didn't care about them. And that is, I mean, what we spoke about earlier, Walker, right? They want us to think of empathy as something horrifying, as something bad, as something that is not good. While in fact, this is one of the most beautiful adaptations that we have, to be able to look around and say, well, I'm not so different from that person. I'm not so different from that person. Look at their suffering. That feels like my suffering as well.
It's also the adaptation that has allowed us to extend human life. This is how modern science develops. This is how, this is the basis of medicine. Now, taking out all the Nazi medicine that we learned from the, but yeah, like this is how humans have survived, is that we cooperate with each other because we realize there is a benefit to doing that we work together to solve problems. Because let's be real, like, I'm a journalist. I'm not going to cure cancer.
Nope.
If I get cancer, I will not be able to solve it myself. It's just, and frankly, I'm not going to grow my own food either. Like that's not something right. Like that's like a full-time thing. Like,
yes, it is.
I'm not going to do that. I don't have the ability to do that. I mean,
that's right.
Or the expertise. Like
even people who are growing their own food, they're not growing a full balanced diet of food, right?
Sure,
they still need to go elsewhere for the things that they are not producing.
Well,
absolutely.
This is a part of, I think, having developed as a society or as a civilization in such a way, we do not recognize that it is only thanks to the collectivity of farming, of all of the utilities of life that we're able to like be writers, right? Or to be podcasters, or to be journalists, or to do any of these things that end up developing. It's only thanks to the great bounty of human collectivity that we're able to become entertainers or movie stars or anything that we'd like to be. And that's taken for granted. When people say they want to go off the grid, they almost never actually mean that they want to go back to like a time where you had to do everything manually. They want to take all of the bounty and boons that we've created as a civilization out to the middle of nowhere so that they don't have to talk to anybody. Sure. So it's so disconnected from reality.
But there's also this sense of like I think a resentment from people who do sort of rural lifestyle of like, this is what's meaningful to me. This is what's important. This is the work that I do.
Right.
And these, entertainers aren't really working because they're not doing this and they don't appreciate what it takes to do that.
Right.
Like and look, I get that. But when that, resentment turns into less savory resentment or finds its way to maps onto this or that minority group or whatever, that's when it gets
right.
really really bleak.
Well,
but
right. And also it's always just one way, right? Like you can never say a bad thing about rural life and people who live in rural areas, but they get to shit on cities all day, every day and talk about, how degenerate we are and how dirty and how gross and how, woke.
But that's another right-wing appeal right there. Like, hey, these city folks, you can go off the grid, but these city folks can't. And like,
right.
But like, I'm just going to throw this out there.
But also neither can you.
There is, like that's who's buying your stuff. That's who's sustaining your lifestyle. Like we all, like society is
We're
good.
Your customers.
Actually.
Be nice to us.
Society is good actually. And it's helpful and beneficial. And like, I get I want to go off the grid. I want to like live.
But again, rural residents are boys and city residents are girls. Okay. And so that's why we don't like the city residents. And that's why and that's why real America is the rural kind, even though the majority of Americans live in cities.
Well, it is. I mean, Walker, what you were just saying, certainly accurate. I feel as though that we lose sometimes in this sort of back and forth right between the rural and the urban communities. That, again, as Caitlin sort of alluded to, right, mutual coordination, right? Like we buy from you, we come to visit your places, right? You send your children to the cities to get education.
I'll have you know, sir, I have flown over your state. No.
That mutual coordination is something that we can find meaning in our lives in as well, right? I mean, of course, perhaps I did not want to be a farmer like my father or like my grandfather, right? But I am still producing food that feeds people. Right. I make a positive difference in the world. And without me, other things couldn't have. And without the entertainer, I wouldn't have anything to watch afterwards.
Right. We would be a lot better off if people stopped being so freaking judgy. Right. Like, like to put it bluntly, like mind your own fucking business. Like, okay. Like, and at the same time, acknowledge that billionaires are destroying everything for everybody. So like unity. Right. Like, but like, no, but like it's this, it's the weirdness of the sort of the conservative movement and what the right is and maybe has always been a little bit. It's always had its conspiratorial elements. You've had the John Birchers, and now they're the mainstream of the GOP. but like it's that weirdness that's like alienating. You are alienating yourself from culture. Like you don't have to be mad about everything. But you are mad about everything. But like you don't have to be. And if you weren't,
can enjoy it actually.
Yeah, you'd be less like ostracized and not.
Yes.
And I think that Trump has had a very negative impact on certain folks because he's encouraged them to be even more fucking weird and reclusive and retreat
and antisocial as you want.
Like retreat into that right-wing ecosystem, retreat into the conspiracism, and it's good actually, and like and that's it's done real damage to our society, because I don't know how you're supposed to have a country with people who don't believe in having a country.
Yeah.
Right.
So all of this is very bleak, and I'm sorry. And I feel like this conversation has gone all over.
Well, it has. We're going to have to work our way around to some hope at some point. That's like our finishing move always. But so I'll give you a second to think about what that should be. It might take a minute.
The Democratic primaries. There are lots of Democratic primaries.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. And so if you have if you live in a district where there's a progressive challenger to an incumbent, you should probably vote for them because
yes.
we need an opposition party in this country, and we don't have one.
Of course, primary season has begun, but we have real power, real volition, real ambition. The numbers aren't looking good for Republicans. In Texas, some of the districts that they gerrymandered are literally getting higher Democrat turnout at this point. So there's hope on the horizon. Do you think we're going to be able to turn the screws on any of these medical loonies, Walker? If we get,
do you think Casey Means is going to get confirmed? What do you think is going to happen with that?
Probably, but.
Jesus Christ.
That's my I say that without like
call it the Means test.
I don't have any like
Trent,
inside knowledge.
I want you to log off right now. Okay. Turn your whole computer off and think about what you just did.
I don't have any, insight here that you don't have, but my sense is that like they confirmed RFK, right? Like they confirmed Bhattacharya, they confirmed Macri. They're going to confirm Casey Means. I mean, she might be more.
They're not going to learn from extreme. Their mistakes the way that they got absolutely slapped in the face every time. That they were like, maybe they'll be normal once we put them in the job, and then they weren't normal.
Her take on COVID was that it was a Darwinian moment for the country, like literally Darwinian moment. That's what she said, and that's like the entire ethos of the movement right there, right? Social Darwinism just out in the open. Some people are going to die. The people who die, well, it's okay.
It's a really fun kind of mental gymnastics that we do where we don't believe in evolution, but we do believe in eugenics somehow. Like we didn't evolve from monkeys, but we're going to strengthen our
God created us in his image, but in some instances his image is displeasing to us, and so
we should allow those people to die.
Yeah Well,
God would love that.
So I think she'll probably be in, but if she's not, I'm hopeful. Like sign the petitions, do the thing, call your representatives, call your senators rather.
Right.
Like that's all well and good, but we are living under a Republican trifecta right now, and they don't believe in expertise or qualifications. They don't believe in science. They don't care about that stuff. So, yeah.
So the primaries. We're being hopeful about the primaries. We know that it's something to be hopeful about because Trump is freaking out. He's really.
I'll tell you though, if they put Jeffries and Schumer back in charge, it's not a good sign.
Right.
No.
We'll have to see what happens.
Not a good sign. So let's hope that enough people who are pissed off at the Democratic leadership win their primaries, and we get a party that actually is willing to fight.
If you could only have one replaced, Walker, who are you choosing? I know.
Oof. If I could only replace Schumer or Jeffries?
Yes. Or Jeffries, yeah.
Is there's no third option.
You can replace one of them or the other one of them. If you got to replace two of them, we'd live in a utopian example.
Can I lobotomize myself instead? Like
that's always an option.
Yeah,
always was an option.
I mean, probably Schumer.
Yeah.
Probably Schumer. Because
what a terrible thought experiment. Cruel.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. Like that's awful. That's like one of those. It's one of the worst would you rather's I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's like you get in an elevator with Jeffries and Schumer, and you have one pink slip. Who do you use it on?
Again, in the editors chat, the last month's editors chat, we Adam agreed, and as did I. I think that Schumer. And that's not to say that I like Hakeem Jeffries very much, but Schumer has just been in this position for so long. And as the head of the Senate Democrats, like you cannot have your head senator be as as non-militant against these fascists as he has been. I mean, I think that Jeffries has shown signs at times, although he has, of course, been very displeasing to me as well. Schumer is just like full of like strongly worded letters, and you just can't get over it.
And he's like just more frequently in a position where he could do something more than what he's doing. So that would be more useful, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they're both from New York. Like how does New York produce this? Like, I'm sorry. When I think New York, I think, I'm walk the fuck you. Fuck you. Like where's that attitude? Where is the pissed off? I want like 8:30 a.m. rush hour to work, coffee, enema energy. That's what I want. Like I want that.
Not the coffee enema.
Like sorry. But like I want like pissed off like fighters. Where's
that?
The
fight?
Instead we get pictures of Jeffries with a baseball bat or Schumer being like, I'm mad as hell.
Yeah, like, okay. I'm mad as hell, but I am going to take it anymore. Like, come on.
We are going to take it.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to keep taking it.
We are going to take it.
Yeah. We will get fooled again.
I was just watching that movie. It's one of my favorites. Everyone go watch Network, to be sure. Walker Bragman, you are the best, despite battling all of life. I mean, we've got unfortunate passings. We've got fascism. We've got out of control medicos who are not medicos. They are economists. It's not great, but again, we appreciate you so much. Will you let our listeners and viewers know where they can find you, where they can read all your stuff, they can give you money, they can comment things on your writings?
Sure. So you can go to accountabilityjournalism.org and make a donation to our nonprofit. We just brought on a new board member, Billie Jean Sweeney, who's a fantastic journalist.
Yes,
the great whistleblower on the anti-trans conspiracy in New York Times.
Yeah, we've built I think a pretty incredible team. You can go to importantcontext.news, subscribe. We do enterprise reporting, investigative reporting on bad actors in our government. And I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things. Like I'm not there yet, but I will be. It
takes time.
It takes time. It does.
Yeah. And everybody, it takes time differently for everybody, right? And so we have to be patient with ourselves. We have to show that same empathy towards our own emotions and feelings as we do towards.
Yeah, it's not great, but we all go through it, and the only way out is through. So
that's right.
Yeah.
It turns out we have to be grown-ups about it, and it sucks, but we do. And that's how our public health system should work too. Please be grown-ups.
Yes, exactly. But
thank you.
In the event of robot bodies, like I'm all in. I'm
one
down.
Please. Absolutely.
I'm down. I just I'm not willing to like funnel more money upward to Sam Altman or whatever.
Is it going to be like Futurama where they just like screw your head on like to a body?
The jar, yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, Nixon's back.
The Nixon robot. That's fine with me. Whatever. It's either that or the Lucy Liu like sex bot. So if I can get that one, I'll do that one.
I need a body, a good Republican body. Riddled with phlebitis.
So I'll do that. But I don't want a robot body if I have to like feed more orphans into the orphan grinder to get it, right?
Exactly.
I'm not interested anymore. Thank you.
Yeah, let's get there together.
Right.
Prove that we can do that responsibly.
Mm-hmm. That's the only way we deserve it.
although, you know, I would be down to like send Elon, you know, like Elon's robot body into space, you know, for just deep space. Like, yes, you can have forever, but
that's just separately a goal of mine, is to send him into space forever.
Yeah, just over there.
Yeah,
deep in the in the Milky Way galaxy.
Have so much fun on Mars. Have so much fun. No, we're not going to come visit you. You just stay there.
I have never once wished for anybody to be Major Tommed other than him. but there we are. You come to a first every time if you get lucky enough.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming. We will see you later. And as we all know, understanding a question is half the answer. And this is half the answer. And we love you. Bye. See you next time.
Thanks for listening to Half the Answer, presented by Liberal Currents. You can find Half the Answer anywhere you get your podcasts. Liberal Currents is an entirely listener and subscriber-funded publication, which includes programs like Half the Answer and Neon Liberalism. So, if you like what you've heard and wish to contribute, you may do so at liberalcurrents.com and through Patreon. And remember, understanding a question is half the answer.